Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to create Facebook video ads on your Mac with a tiny budget. This same process will work for producing YouTube video ads too, and I'm not going to get into how to upload these to Facebook or YouTube. And when I talk about tiny budget, I mean the budget required to create the video themselves, not the Facebook ad budget, as that's a whole separate topic perhaps for another day. The process is really simple. It's so easy that even I can do it, and I'm pretty much the most non-creative person in history. So to begin with, first we'll need some photos. You can see I've already selected 4 photos here that I want to use. They're showing in my Finder here. We'll also want some music. Now, music can cost a lot of money. You can get it at various places, but usually it does cost money. But there is a free provider at Purple Planet, which I've got here open on my web browser already. You can see the URL up here, purple-planet.com. You do need to provide credit to Purple Planet, which is just a link to their website, which here, so as you can see, credit. You'll need to figure out where in your video you put that, or whether you put it in a description if you're using YouTube, or somewhere on your ad copy if you're using Facebook. But you do need to do that. That's how they keep these things free, and it's only right and fair that you should credit them for the use of their work. Now on this one I'm just going to choose a random one. I'm going to go with active here, which is taking a little time to come around for some reason. And it broke. Here we go. So I'm just going to choose a random one. I'm going to go with Happy Days. It looks pretty good. It's 1.5 minutes long, which is more than plenty for what we need. So click the download, and you can see it's downloaded in Chrome here, and it's in my downloads folder. We'll leave it there for now. We don't need it just yet. So I'll move that. The next thing we need is iMovie, which in this case I already have open, and you can see some of my previous projects here. Today we're going to create a new project. We're going to create a movie because that's what we want. Go back to our Finder and just highlight the 4 photos that we want and drag and drop them in. Now we need to deselect them, otherwise they'll drag in or go into the browser here in the order that they were imported, which might not be quite what we want, although in this case it actually is. So I can simply select all 4, drag them in, and as you can see, there they are. You'll notice each clip is about 4 seconds. This is about where we want them. That will give us a video of 16 to 20 seconds. You'll see why 20 seconds in a moment. What we want to do now is to add some crossfade, and to do that we just highlight each individual clip and add cross dissolve, it calls it on the Mac. I think we want to zoom a little bit there, so you can see it's added this 1 second of cross dissolve. We'll do the same for this one, and this one, and this one, and that will fade the video out at the end, which is exactly what we want. Now that's actually shortened the amount of time for each clip, so to make it back to 4 seconds we just come to the end. You'll see the cursor changes to this left and right arrows, and then we simply drag, and we can see how long that clip is going to last for. 4 seconds. It's about what I go for. It doesn't have to be exact, but it does offend my OCD if it's not. Oops. And we may want this one a little bit longer. As you can see, we now have a video that's going to last about 20 seconds. And if we double click the cross dissolve, you can actually change how long that cross dissolve goes for. Okay, so we now have our videos, or our photos, sorry, exactly where we want them. And to get the pan and zoom effect, we simply double click here, and this gives us our pan and zoom. Now, it doesn't always get it right for where you want to start, because I'm going to start this one fairly zoomed out and a little bit higher up, and then I'm going to zoom in, and you'll see it maintains the aspect ratio. So you may not get it zoomed in exactly where you want it because of the size of your photos. It all depends. Mine are actually quite small photos, so I don't have as much room to play. And we'll just do that for all of these. That one's probably not in too bad a position for the start. The end, though, is far too big, so we will zoom that in. And the start and end is completely wrong on this one. We'll start. And you can zoom out instead of in. It just depends what size you set for your start and end points. And we'll zoom that in a little bit too. That one's probably not a bad position for start. And on the end, whoops, we'll zoom right in on the product. There. So that's the pan and zoom done. To start back at the beginning of the video, just click over here. This will move this yellow line, which just shows you what you're previewing. We'll click play to preview that, and you can see the pan and zoom and the cross dissolve all taking effect. You don't have to have the cross dissolve, but I think it looks somewhat nicer. Now that we've done that, we want to put on some captions. In this case, iMovie calls them titles. So we click on titles, and you can experiment with which titles you want. I normally like the lens flare, but I have noticed it doesn't actually show up very well on the white background there. But we'll go with that one anyway. Then we simply type in what we want the caption to be. You won't be able to see that at the moment because it's in white. So we can change that here, and we'll change that to black. also like the boogie lights, so we'll pop that one on. Now that is just a nasty font, don't like that at all, so there we go, we'll change that. Don't forget to press return when you've finished so that you get this highlight again, otherwise your change won't stick, as I found out in an earlier recording. Now what we'll do here is extend this title across both of these photos, which just shows you that you can set them wherever you want and across various photos. And finally, we're going to put our call to action at the end. I'm going to use paper for this one. I think it looks quite good. So we'll pop that on there. You obviously will type in whatever your call to action is. It's a shame I can't type today. And you can change your text color of both of these, either of these, but they actually work quite nicely for me. And we'll actually extend this beyond the end of the video so that we end up with a freeze frame and hopefully a call to action that sticks around. There we go. In fact, we might drag this one out just a little bit further. I'd actually like to delete the crossfade here, so I think we can select that, and it won't let us delete it. I'm not sure how to fix that. Just select it and press the delete key. What that will do is that will keep that video when it's finished running on Facebook. That is the image that will stay in the person's browser or in their timeline. So let's run that. You won't see the lens flare effect because it's a white background there. And as I previously mentioned, if you don't make sure you've saved your caption, it for some odd reason likes to revert. I'm going to change that font. Obviously you can put whatever captions here you like. So click the photo, sorry, don't press return, click the actual photo up here to make that change stick. I don't need to run through the whole thing again, but just to show you. The lens flare effects will be a lot smoother in the actual video. Now the zoom there is quite slow because we stretched this out. So if we bring that back to 4 seconds, it's not letting me add a freeze frame. So what we can do is just drop that back on. You'll see that the caption has gone across. In this case, we don't actually want the pan and zoom. We simply want a crop. So if we look at where our end point is, sorry, on this frame, we want to try and mimic that. We'll go with crop. This is a useful little trick to give you a freeze frame at the end. Come back to here. It's not quite in the same position. If it's not in the same position, it'll jump. That's about right. I'm doing this by eye, but you may prefer to be a little more technical in the way you do that. Let's have a look. As I said, it may jump a little bit, but by doing that we get the zoom to be a little quicker. There, did you see that little jump? But then we have a nice long freeze frame at the end, and we can drag that out to be the same length. So I've obviously got the crop to fit slightly smaller on this second one, but I won't play around with that too much because that will bore you. Now, the final stage of the process is to add the audio track which we downloaded earlier. That's really easy. We come back to My Media here, which I'd already done anyway, and we simply drag and drop Happy Days into the media area. We select it and drag it down here. Position it appropriately. Now you'll notice that this media track goes on for 1.5 minutes, and that is not going to be at all where we want things. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Come back to the end, and I'm going to stop the music. Well, there's a good point there. I think we'll go there. That's the end of our video. And to do this, we position the cursor where we want it, or the yellow line, select the track, and right click again, split clip, and you can see we now have two separate clips. Right click, and we delete the second one. Now the audio track will only go on for as long as our video. Unfortunately, I can't preview that for you. That's just a feature of my video screen capture software. Anyway, we now have our video finalized. To get it onto our computer, we need to go to File and Share. I always share as a file. You can use iMovie to upload straight to YouTube or Facebook. I don't like to do that. I like to have control of my file. So we select File, put our title in, tags. For some reason it always puts iMovie. I'm really not sure where these tags go anyway, to be fair. Video and audio, we definitely want that. 720p is a good resolution for high definition. My photos are not big enough, so it won't let me do 1080. And you may find if your photos are even smaller than mine that you may only get 540. The quality we want high, or best. You can play around with that, and I choose better quality rather than faster. Then we simply click Next, and where we want to save it, and laryngoscope necklace product video, which was what we typed in earlier, click Save. Now you'll see that shoots off up to the right there, and we get this circle here, which is gradually becoming more solid as the process goes ahead. Once it's finished, we will get a little pop-up come up. If you're running this on a MacBook Pro 2015 like mine is, it's relatively quick. If you have an SSD drive, which mine does, it's pretty quick. If you're on an older machine with a spinning hard drive or an HDD, as they're sometimes known, this may be quite a lot slower for you. I'd strongly recommend anyone looking to improve the speed of their Mac to look at swapping out to an SSD, because it will make a massive difference if you haven't got one already. There we go, share successful, and we can show that, and as you can see I saved it into my downloads. From there we can open it up in QuickTime, which I'm not going to do for this video, but I will upload the finished product. I may even add it to the end of this video so that you can see it. From there you can upload to YouTube or Facebook, wherever in fact you want it to go. And the reality is that was so easy that even I managed it, as you've seen. Hope this video has been useful for you. I look forward to reading any comments you might have below. Feel free to leave them, good, bad or indifferent. And if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, please do. We'll be adding more and more as time goes on. Thank you for watching, and please leave a comment below. All the best. Bye bye.